Hi, everybody. Welcome to the session. Big news coming in from Times of India that we are talking about change of uh, of the number of questions in the cat. Everybody was settled into a 76 question pattern, and uh, this morning that got kind of completely uh, thrown off by what happened at in the Times of India this thing, and it's actually come out from the blue. So I'm just going through my thoughts. I was just trying to collect my thoughts about this. So first of all, I have put a question mark there. I put a question mark there. Uh, why I put a question mark there is because of the fact that that we really don't know whether this has actually happened or not. Because just trying to share my screen with you. Yeah. So I hope you can see my screen there, right? So the first question that happens is, has it actually happened? So that's the first thought in my mind. So it's a Times of India report, basically, no official announcement yet. So let's not panic about this, right? This was the report. Uh, this might not be visible to you very much inside uh, in this view. So I'll just keep. I mean, most of it is crap. I'll just come to the key highlights. MP Ram Mohan, the convener of CAT 21, says last year CAT format changes were necessary due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Since we are witnessing the same pandemic issue this year as well, the CAT 21 exam format will largely remain the same. That means the three sections is obviously remaining the same. So CAT 20 followed the new format. However, considering that even last year there could have been time pressure on the students to complete the exam on account of changes made for CAT 21, we have reduced the number of questions across all three sections, including quantitative ability, verbal ability, and reading comprehension, and data interpretation and logical reasoning. So this is a definitive statement. If you read this statement, we have reduced the number of questions across all three sections. So this is a very definitive statement and is being quoted as something. It's very surprising that how they've given a soundbite only to Times of India, and why they've not done it across everybody. They should have. I mean, this should have been a press release. This should have been a press release if at all, right? So I have my views about this, and I was trying to gather my views about this before I came live on this. So the objective is, we hope that this will ensure that candidates get adequate time to complete the exam. So one of the grouses about CAT 2020 was that because of I mean, if you actually look at what happened in these things in CAT 2020 from CAT 19, we'll come to that point. But what does it mean? So first of all, take it with a pinch of salt till it is not official. Although, ठीक है, मतलब we should start preparing for it. And if it's true, what's my thought about what's likely to happen, right? So there's one logic that I want to take you through. Uh, that is, what is the time available per question logic? The time available per question logic from CAT 19 to CAT 20. CAT 19 was a 100 question exam in 3 hours, 180 minutes. 100 questions in 3 hours. That typically gives you around 1.8 minutes to process a question, right? 1.8 minutes to process a question. 100 questions, 180 minutes, 1.8 minutes to process a question on an average. And typical, the toppers, the 99 percentilers would solve typically between 60-65 questions in 3 hours. So that gave you 3 minutes per question solving time. So two things, just remember two things: 1.8 minutes processing time for a question, and 3 minutes solving time per question. Now, what happened in CAT 20? What happened in CAT 20? CAT 20, the number of questions was reduced. The time was reduced by one third, 33% reduction in time. But the number of questions was reduced only by 24%, right? It went down to 76. So while there was a 33% reduction in time, when I was thinking about CAT 20 and when we were building our test series, it was a no-brainer for me that it should be 66 to 68 questions. And for me, it was a big surprise that it was actually 76 questions in CAT 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 20. Reason being why it was a surprise is because you don't tamper. I mean, CAT from CAT 16 17 onwards, CAT has been a very settled exam. So you certainly don't tamper with the timings, etc. Of an exam like this. You're forced to tamper. You're forced to tamper with it because of COVID. That's fine, but you don't suddenly tamper the per question available time. So suddenly from 100 questions in 180 minutes, 1.8 minutes per question, they took it down to they took it down to 76 questions in 120 minutes. So the time per question was what? 45, 1.6 minutes per question. So they clearly shaved off zero point 0.2 minutes. That means 12, 13 seconds per question that you could see across the paper. This straight away shaved off 12, 13 seconds of your time on per question. And naturally, what happened is if you see in CAT 19, the toppers was solving what, 50 to 53 questions. If somebody is all correct, he needed 53 questions all correct to get to 99 percentile, right? And CAT 20 mein, because of this variance in how much pressure you're putting on an individual question, and how much pressure you're putting on the student to solve that individual question, and how much pressure you are putting on कि तुमने कौन सा question नहीं देखा है. Because of that, from 53 questions in 3 hours, people are solving 53 in 3 hours. People drop down. The 99 percentile was the 33, 34 questions. So that is 19 questions drop. That's almost a 40% drop in the number of questions required to get to 99 percentile, right? And this basically happened. This equilibrium changed because of the time available per question. This thing. So maybe I'm just guessing here, but if you apply logic to it, what happened in CAT 19, CAT 20 with respect to what they did on the per question time limit, the per question time available is something I was not very comfortable with. I did not like it in terms of design of the exam. It is you. I mean, as I said, in a settled exam, you you don't mess up with your timelines and your time limits, etc. I mean, if you know the way GMAT, GRE work, which are very very settled international exams, and CAT always aspires to be as good as them, and it is in a lot of ways as good as them. uh, तो इन देयर डिजाइन, मतलब वो जब कोई इनफैक्ट इफ यू, आई डोंट नो आजकल होता है कि नहीं, मुझे याद नहीं है, बट नॉट चेक्ड इट लेटर, बट what they used to do, especially in GRE earlier, used to be that they used to have one dummy section. तो जो नए क्वेश्चन टाइप्स उनको इंट्रोड्यूस करने होते थे वो डमी सेक्शन में डालते थे, right? But the student was not told which the dummy section is. The student would never come to know. So they would, if they were trying to introduce a few question types, etc., that extra section that would not be marked in the actual paper was not told to you, and you would solve it, and the whole people across the world would solve it, and then they would look at the analytics behind it before changing or before introducing a question type. That is how settled exams operate. So suddenly, this was actually an illogical move to actually drop time by 33% and drop questions only by 24%, because it changes the equilibrium completely. So obviously, people who were giving CAT 20 had to face that inside the exam. So I think this announcement, if it is true, I think this announcement, if it's true, uh, is basically, I've talked about this in a lot of my sessions, Priyank. Yeah, I've talked about this in a lot of my sessions, but then as you train, you have to, or as you guide people, you have to accept what is happening in the world, and then take that decision, or talk about this. But if you see a lot of my YouTube discussions, etc., and even my classes at Mindworks, I've kept talking about this time per time available per question. So maybe I'm just guessing here, but maybe they've decided to redress this. So the question becomes, what is most likely to happen then? So the key questions are, so most likely scenario. So I'm going back to my understanding of what the most likely scenario should be or would be. in CAT 21. So it would come back to a 66 to 68 question exam. I think they would redress, logically speaking, they would redress the time available per question balance, right? So it'll be like 66 to 68 questions, I would think, 1.8 minutes per question if they're happy. Unless of course the whole logic changes if they are not happy with 1.8 minutes per question, they want to give 2 minutes per question. So there is a chance that that might happen. Okay, so sometimes you do have a shift in a gradual scenario, and that shift, there's a reason for the 60 questions also to happen. uh, One of the things that you do is when you reduce questions, you reduce choice for the test taker, right? You reduce choice for the test taker. So 66 would mean 22, 22, 22, or 68 would mean 24, 24, 20, something like that, right? So when you reduce questions, you reduce choice for the test taker. So the logic for 60 is that if you look at an exam like GMAT, which is an internationally accepted high quality exam, if you look at an exam like GMAT, the GMAT may they don't they they don't allow you to skip questions. If a question comes on your screen, you have to solve it, right? And then it's adaptive after that, right? I'll come to my guesses about percentile, etc. We'll come to that, Pranav. We'll just come to that. Okay. So when you reduce the number of questions, you reduce the choice, which means that you are forcing students to solve every question that comes in front of you. The importance of every question which is coming on the screen becomes much higher, right? Going down to let's say 20 20 20 if it goes to, so वहाँ पे importance बहुत बढ़ जाता है. तो वो logic पे अगर वो जाते हैं तो इस पे this is likely. But then they are then saying that CAT 17 18 19 का जो हमारा पैटर्न था वो उतना ठीक नहीं था. 20 का पैटर्न तो उन्होंने एक्सेप्ट कर लिया है. अगर ये ट्रू है तो 20 का पैटर्न तो एक्सेप्ट कर लिया कि 20 का नंबर ऑफ क्वेश्चन वाज नॉट राइट, right? So in that context, this the 60 might happen. So if I was in your position, or if I'm guiding you or trying to help you, mentor you, then I would say that 60 to 70 के बीच का तैयारी करो, and we'll obviously modify our test series, etc., based on that. So two things then, prep wise, what should I do? What changes? The answer is nothing changes. Maybe if anything that changes is that since the choice is lower, those of you who are planning to leave out certain things, please don't leave out things, because if they go to the 20 question exam and you planning to leave out three chapters, this is the only change, perhaps. Don't leave out chapters or question types. ये critical हो जाता है, right? ठीक है. डिफिकल्टी लेवल आई थिंक वुड रिमेन सेम. मतलब कैट 17 18 19 20 देखोगे तो मोर और लेस, मैं अगर 19 का पेपर 18 में, 19 का एक क्वेश्चन उठा के 18 में डाल दूं और 18 का एक क्वेश्चन उठा के 19 में डाल दूं, तुमको पता नहीं चलेगा कौन सा क्वेश्चन चेंज किया है मैंने. ठीक है. So in your preparation, prep wise, what does it change? It just changes that you're on slightly you reach the edge in terms of choices, right? So imagine अब जैसे देखो 76 क्वेश्चन के कारण क्या हुआ था, 40 क्वेश्चन किसी ने सॉल्व किया 4-5 एरर के साथ, तो उसको 99 परसेंटाइल आ रहा था लास्ट ईयर. तो 36 क्वेश्चन छोड़ रहे थे तुम. उसके पिछले साल क्या था 99 परसेंटाइल के लिए 100 में 65-70 सॉल्व करना होता था. That means your choice was 30 questions in 100, 30% only. So every 10 questions, 7 questions you are supposed to solve in 99, in 2019, 18, 17 also. Every 10 questions, 7 questions you have to solve for 99. And every other percentile had similar structures, right? So, but in CAT 20, out of 76 questions, you left 36 and you were 99 percentile. So that meant that how much? 45% you're leaving, right? 40 questions, 4-5 incorrect, you're getting 100 marks. So 45% questions you're leaving. You're leaving 36 questions. That means out of every 10 questions, you are solving 5.5 and leaving 4.5. So now when the pressure goes out कि 10 में से 7 करना है, the choice reduces. The pressure on every question goes up. राइट. एक आध क्वेश्चन अगर तुम्हारा सिली एरर कुछ हो गया कहीं पे तो बाकी 7-8 क्वेश्चन पे प्रेशर. मीन इमेजिन तुमको 10 क्वेश्चन में हर 4 क्वेश्चन में प्रेशर रिलीज था कि नहीं करना है छोड़ दो. अब तुम्हारे पास 3 ही प्रेशर रिलीज वॉल्व्स हैं in every 10 questions. So hence this is the clear indication in terms of preparation. Don't uh, don't leave out chapters or question types. Right. Now what about test taking strategy, the other major challenge, right? So I think choice goes back to what it was, right? Choice goes back to what it was. Now 66 में से you'll see one thing you need to remember. Remember one thing. Let me introduce a new slide here and tell you this. In terms of scoring, at 19 was 52%, 52, 53%. At 19, 18, 17. I'm saying 19, it means 19, 18, 17. Cat 19 required 52, 53% score for a 99 percentile. Right? Cat 20 required 45, 44, 45% score from the maximum marks for the 99 percentile. But there was one way in which Cat 19 and Cat 20 were equal. One way in which they were equal. You know what it was? One way in which they were equal. You know what it was? Scoring rate per hour. In Cat 19, in 3 hours, you had to score 160 marks, which means you are scoring 53 marks per hour. In Cat 20, in 2 hours, you had to score 100 marks, which means you are scoring 50 marks per hour. You're scoring 50 marks per hour. Now, why did this marks per hour drop from 53 to 50? Because when you are in a 40-minute section, you've got a little bit less recovery time. Okay? You got a little bit less recovery time in a 40-minute exam than a 60-minute exam. 40-minute exam में 10 मिनट खराब हो गए कहीं पे तो रिकवरी टाइम नहीं रहता उतना जितना 60-minute एग्जाम में होता है. तो इसलिए वो 53 का 50 हुआ था. बट ब्रॉडली एक थंब रूल मान के चलो कि जो 99% है ना 50 मार्क पर आवर स्कोर करना पड़ेगा तुमको. 50 मार्क पर आवर स्कोर करना पड़ेगा तुमको. थोड़ा चॉइस कम हो गया 40 मिनट. अब दो फैक्टर्स अब आ गए. तुम्हारा चॉइस इज बैक टू कैट 19 चॉइस अगर 66 68 क्वेश्चंस का पेपर है ना. चॉइस इज गोइंग बैक to the choice of CAT 19 and in a 2-hour exam. And apart from that, the 40-minute time pressure is also there that you don't have recovery time. The recovery time is less in a 40-minute paper. तो ये दोनों factors introduce हो गया. तो maybe I would say that couple of marks और कम हो गए. तो तुम्हारा जो in a 66 mark question paper, because you are solving now out of 198 marks rather than 228 marks. तो 228 में चॉइस ज़्यादा था, जल्दी छोड़ सकते थे, क्वेश्चन मिल जाते सॉल्व करने के, तो स्कोरिंग रेट थोड़ा फास्टर रहेगा than in a 198 mark paper or a 204 mark paper. I would estimate that the scoring rate will go down to maybe 47 48 for the 99 percentile. That's my thumb rule. Right? So it's going to be around 95 marks. 5 marks का ड्रॉप होगा. बहुत ज़्यादा ड्रॉप नहीं करता है सब. ठीक है. ऐसा नहीं होता है कि 100 का 60 हो जाएगा. राइट. नॉलेज का प्रीमियम बढ़ जा रहा है. So inside the exam you have to, I mean every DI sets, I think DILR sets 4 रहेंगे, 5 के बदले 5 रहेंगे, 4 के, or they might go into 4 sets of 5 each also. You have to be ready for both of them. And what else? Quants, quants 24 question exam versus 26 question exam में उतना फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. But 20 question exam versus 26 में बहुत फर्क पड़ जाएगा. तो 20 question exam अगर हो जाता है तो प्रीमियम और नॉलेज goes much higher. एक चैप्टर छोड़ दिया, उस चैप्टर से 3 क्वेश्चन आ गया तो तुम सडनली 17 क्वेश्चन में सॉल्व कर रहे हो। दूसरा चैप्टर किया हुआ जो चैप्टर है उसमें 3 क्वेश्चन बहुत डिफिकल्ट आ गए, 2 क्वेश्चन बहुत डिफिकल्ट आ गए, सडनली तुम 15 क्वेश्चन से सॉल्व कर रहे हो, तो स्कोर मिलने का टाइम ही नहीं रहेगा। स्कोर मिलने का कहीं कहीं भागोगे, कहाँ जाके स्कोर लाओगे? अगर 3 क्वेश्चन नहीं आते हैं बिकॉज वो चैप्टर नहीं किया और 2 क्वेश्चन तुम्हारे किए हुए चैप्टर से टफ आ जाते हैं, तो where will you get the marks from? That's why it's going to be very very risky to do selective studying for this year. Please don't do that. So my guesses would be this. So in your test taking, basically you have to try to, I mean in your test taking, try to adhere to this 50 marks per hour as this thing with the reduced choice, or maybe even if you can get to 47 48, you still have hope for getting to a 99 percentile. Do you want to know the analysis for 99.9 and 90 also similarly, or this is good enough? Typically, प्रोबेबिलिटी पढ़ लो, मतलब बेसिक क्वेश्चंस पढ़ लो प्रोबेबिलिटी का, ठीक है ना? ऐसे नहीं आता है प्रोबेबिलिटी। सो 90 परसेंटाइल का लॉजिक क्या है? 90 परसेंटाइल का जो लॉजिक है ना, वो करीब 30 to 35 मार्क्स के पर आवर के रेंज में जाता है। 30 to 35 मार्क्स पर आवर के रेंज में आता है 90 परसेंटाइल। सो बेसिकली, आई मीन थिंक अबाउट दिस वे, तुमको अगर 50 मार्क पर आवर लाना है, अगर तुम 100% एक्यूरेट करते हो तो हर घंटे में 17 क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करना है। अगर तुम 90% एक्यूरेसी सॉल्व करते हो तो हर घंटे में 20 क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करने पड़ेंगे, ठीक है? आई एम कमिंग टू 95 भी बता देता हूँ, 99 भी बता देता हूँ। तो 95 के लिए, सो व्हाट माय गेस इज दैट once two effects are happening, यहाँ पे 2 इफेक्ट हो रहे हैं, just think about this, 2 parallel effects are happening। कौन से हैं पैरेलल इफेक्ट्स? एक इफेक्ट है चॉइस बैक टू कैट 21, कैट 19, ठीक है? सो देन योर परसेंटेज स्कोर विल गो अप बिकॉज ऑफ दिस, ठीक है? एक इफेक्ट ये है। दूसरा, सेकेंड इफेक्ट इज that the number of the reduced time per section, this is going to have an effect of percentage score reduction, right? Choice back to cat 19, percentage score required will go up because your scoring rate is going to be same, so 52% पे आएगा तुम्हारा, लेकिन reduce time, तो according to this, so percentage score required will go up to back to 52-53%. I'm again talking about the 99 percentile value, right? So in a 198 question exam, 198 to 204, this would mean in a 198 to 204 question marks exam, 50 to 53% will typically be around the 99 to 102 marks range, right? 100, 99, 102, 104. But the second factor, reduced time per section, this will drop scores. This will reduce the percentage required by maybe -5 marks कर लो तुम. This will have an effect of -5. So 94, 97, 99 का रेंज आ जाएगा तुम्हारा 99 परसेंटाइल का यहाँ पे. So this is what will change here. और स्कोरिंग के बारे में जब बात करते हो, एज आई सेड 90 परसेंटाइल का 30 मार्क्स पर आवर था in the 2 hour exam, 35 मार्क्स पर आवर था in the 3 hour exam, राइट? तो यहाँ पे अगर तुम देखो, आई एम प्रेडिक्टिंग बिकॉज ऑफ दीज टू इफेक्ट्स, आई एम प्रेडिक्टिंग that from 52 53 marks per hour we are coming down, this marks per hour in the early equilibrium, cat 19 equilibrium, we came down to 50 marks per hour in the cat 20 equilibrium. So I'm predicting 47 48 marks per hour required. बहुत ज्यादा फर्क नहीं पड़ता, एक क्वेश्चन का फर्क पड़ेगा, on an average. 47.48 marks per hour is what I'm predicting for a 99 percentile. So similarly यहाँ पे अगर 30-35 है तो इसका प्रोडिक्शन में भी 28 हो जाएगा. 99 का क्या था मार्क्स पर आवर में? 99 का था 53, ड्रॉप टू 50, now dropping to 47-48. Similarly, 90 percentile 30-35 per hour will drop to around 28. 95 का क्या स्टोरी रहता है? 95 percentile in the CAT 19 papers used to be 40 marks per hour, and this year it was around 35-36 marks per hour, right? So maybe you drop it by a couple of marks per hour, so you might think about 32-33 marks per hour, which would mean that your 90 percentile, your 99 percentile is happening somewhere around 94. Of course, these can vary by plus minus 2-3 marks depending on difficulty level. That's the 94%, 99 percentile prediction. This would be around 56 marks, a few marks down, because the choices dropped. The other things are remaining same. And this would be around, for 95 percentile, I think last year it was at around 70-75 marks, if I'm not mistaken. तो ये typically 66 to 68 marks पे आ जाएगा ये. The score that you need. 99.5 का क्या story है? 99.5 percentile is normally at a 60. 99.5 exact story मेरे को नहीं याद है. 99.7 का जो story है, that used to be at around 60 marks per hour, which had dropped to around 57 marks per hour, and maybe it'll now drop to around 55 marks per hour. So if you are scoring 110 plus in a reduced, this I'm talking about 66 to 68. अगर 60 हो गया तो और वेरी करेगा, further choices down. अगर 60 हो गया तो choice down further, तो choice lower than CAT 19, so that would increase the percentage score you require, but that will actually drop the scores a little bit. So this is the basic this thing. So in terms of total, this is the scores you need typically. 99 percentile के 94 to 96. So attempt कितना करोगे will typically be this thing. Section wise उसी तरह से break होगा. I'll bring out section wise videos as things get more stabilized with respect to this information. But broadly, you will have a 5% drop, 3 to 5% drop in the scoring, right? Yeah. So 19 questions with 100, 33 questions with 100% accuracy for 99 percentile. 56 questions, 19 questions, 100% accuracy. 33 questions with 100% accuracy. And 38 questions with 100% accuracy. Right? So this is the basic this thing. Sorry, I'm not taking any of your questions today or your comments. And this is what I think. This is my analysis of it. So we'll wind up now, and I'll be back with more. Abhi ke liye we'll stop. Thanks a lot. I hope this clarified things. Don't panic, right? All you have to do is change your strategy inside your mocks a little bit more. You'll have to hang on to a question a little bit more. 2020 हो सकता है, लेकिन मेरे को नहीं लगता है कि होगा सतन. It's unlikely. लेकिन there's a logic as I've explained it. It can happen. ठीक है, चलो क्वेश्चन सेशन एक करता हूँ मैं. Let's do it soon. ठीक है, चलो, bye. Thank you so much. I don't want to make this video too long. Nobody watches long videos later. So we'll wind up now. Chalo, thanks a lot. Bye.